May was a massive month for Miles. 130 pools opened in 25 days. A keynote speech in front of 300 people. A runway walk, a charity event, and an award. And on top of all of that, being a new dad, building a house, and still finding time for the gym and breath work. Today, we're breaking it all down. The rhythm, the reflection, and how to keep your center when life gets this full.
To the rhythm of my intuition, anything I want, I speak into existence. That's how I'm.
Okay, here we are. We're back finally after maybe 2 weeks. I think we said it was 2-week break, and we're back, episode 29.
Miles, May looked insane from the outside. How did it feel from the inside?
Insane. It felt insane. Yeah, so obviously we led up to it that the seasonal pool business, the core month is in May. We kind of do like the last week of April and then into May. It was 25 active days. We typically do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And yeah, it's intense. You know, we do 5 or 6 pools a day. You know, I burn in 4,000, 5,000 calories a day. But it's a sprint willing to do because it's such a great business. We have a great partnership with Poolcraft. And yeah, so what was it? 25 days I said it was?
Yeah.
And we did 130 swimming pools for my business. I think it was like something like 31,000 in revenue. And I think it was somewhere around 24,000 in profit. So it's a grind, but it's a great business, great profitable business. So willing to do it. But yeah, you kind of just get into the cycle of it. Every year it gets harder and harder because the other businesses are reaching a new level. This year was especially hard is because obviously I got little Grayson at home and, you know, you're being a dad when you get home. There's no like come home and just chill out. That said, Elisa was very good to, you know, let me kind of decompress when I first get home and then get cleaned up too because I absolutely stink. And yeah, so it's a grind, but I'm happy it's over, but I already miss it.
What does that month look like? How many pools per day? Like, what's the process of all this?
Really the day looks like you wake up at 7, depending on what Grayson needs, change him, bring him to Elisa. Hopefully he goes back to sleep, feeds, goes back to sleep. Savi, who's my partner in this biz, meets me at the house, get in the truck, drive down to the Poolcraft in Richmond Hill, get all the stuff that we need for the day. And then essentially we just have a schedule and we just drive to the pool and go through the process of opening a swimming pool, which, you know, it's a fairly, I'd call it, it's fairly simple process, but there's a bunch of different variables and variations. And it's a wide spectrum if it's a easy pool or if it's a horrible pool. Like easy pool, you know, you go there, it's a safety cover, so one of those flat covers, so you don't have to pump any water off. I take that off, take all the plugs out, put all the returns in, go to the equipment, put all the equipment back together. If it comes from a main drain, prime the pump, start it up, get it going, add the chemicals in, give it a vacuum if it's needed. If it's a horrible pool, you show up and the pool is like 90 feet from the road into the backyard. It's a massive water bag cover with 12 bags of wet leaves on top of the cover that you need to pump and scoop off onto the pool deck. Then you need to take off this massive water bag cover, drag it to the road, lay it out, clean it off, fold it up, carry that wet ass big cover to the shed in this person's backyard. Then you got to clean up all the water bags, and you got to put all the leaves in leaves bags, carry those to another 70 feet to the road, do all that, and then, you know, the equipment's in like the shed with no lights in it, and it's all plumbed, all messed up, and all that. So a pool can take 30 minutes or it could take 2 hours, depending on what it is, and you just got to take the good with the bad.
So how many pools per day did you do?
Yeah, we try to do six a day, but depending on scheduling and stuff like that, five or six is what we do.
And we know May was super busy, but you spoke in front of 300 people at the Shifts 25, your first ever public talk. What was going through your mind before, and what did that moment mean to you?
Yeah, it's like in this season of intensity, the craziness of May. So on one end, I'm like grinding through doing all these pools, and then I'm kind of preparing to do my first ever talk at a business summit in front of 300 people, which is kind of intimidating. As I'm walking around doing pools, I'm like saying the talk out loud. But I was what was going through, I was excited, but I was also nervous. It's really the anticipation of right before going on. That's like the anxious feeling of like, oh my goodness, it's coming up. Luckily, the guy who was talking right before me, Mark Champagne, his talk is on like mental resilience, and a core piece of that is breath work. And as you know, I'm big on breath work this year. So his talk right before mine was super helpful because he actually did like live breath work exercise, which kind of calmed me down. And but you just move forward. And once it started, we were rolling. You were there. How'd I do?
You did good. And you've been on the business stage for 15 plus years, but this was a different stage. How did it change your view on how your role as a builder and a communicator?
Yeah, like I was talking to Chris Emmanuel, who put on the event, who's the CEO of the chamber, and he's like, well, you've been on Dragon's Den 2 times. This is nothing, right? And I'm like, yeah, there's 5 people in the room for Dragon's Den. Are you talking to 5 people? Obviously, there's cameramen and producers and stuff, but that's a little different than being on a stage and talking to 300 people. But I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to, and it's actually kind of seeded an idea of maybe to continue to seek out more talking opportunities. I decided I put on kind of like the life bucket list, get paid to do a talk, right? Like no one was paying me to go do this. I got asked and it was an honor to go and do it. And it was a short talk. It was like 12 minutes long. So I know I could extend it out to be like a 30, 40 minute talk, maybe that with like some Q&A. So that's kind of going on in the back of my mind now, to kind of do that talk more and get better and better at it. And then hopefully I could check that off the list and get paid to deliver the talk.
On top of the talk, you also walked a runway. Why did you say yes to Omar's men's health event?
Yeah, so Lynette was kind of on the committee of putting this event together. She was a part of it. So she kind of told me that I was going to be walking it. But of course, with Raz and May putting on the event, I was going to do it for them anyways. It was for a great cause. Raising money, and they raised a ton of money too. It was an awesome event, and it was easy. All I had to do was put on this cool outfit that they gave me and go walk in front of 300 people again. But it's actually the second fashion show for charity that I've done. I did the Abuse Hurts one last year or the year before, so it was fun for a good cause. And yeah, for Raz and May, no problem.
And it's the 3rd year hosting Catering for a Cause. $17,000 raised for 3 charities. What's that event starting to mean to you now that's part of the yearly rhythm?
Yeah. So it's our event that we do with Anne-Marie Millian called Catering for a Cause. Awesome events, 3rd year. Now, full disclosure, my involvement of making the event a success, not really that high. That's more on Lynette and Elisa and Trish and Anne-Marie. But I do my part in there. And it means a lot. Like every year it has grown, and we do it in such a unique way too, where we don't want to be picking charities to give the money to. So we put it out to the community, nominate your favorite charity, and then whoever has the most nominations, the top 3, get to come to the event, and then they get to pitch in front of everyone, and then pick the attendees of the event, choose the winner to take home the whole pot. And every year the amount of nominations has gone higher and higher and higher. I don't know the exact one, but it's like we're up at like over 4,000 nominations being put in for these 3 charities. And we had some great ones. We had Newmarket Vets Association, Newmarket Food Pantry, and York Region Food Network, and Newmarket Food Pantry, when they went up and did their presentation, they had said, if we win, we're not going to take home the whole pot. We were going to split it evenly, which they did end up winning, and that's what happened. But yeah, it is amazing to see the community come together, and we sell at the event every year, which is always nice, and have lots of good feedback on it. So it's something special that I look forward to, and I think the rest of the community looks forward to attending.
Then, the cherry on top. You won the Good Neighbor Award from the Town of Aurora. How did it feel to get that kind of recognition?
Yeah, it was awesome to get that award, and the feedback. It's always nice to get an award, but you're kind of just still on. You're just. Myself personally, it's just kind of head down, just keep building. Like, okay, the awards are nice, but the feedback that we have gotten from after getting that award has been really big. So it is important too. So it was nice. That said, with the talking at shift and walking the runway and doing the catering for a cause was all within 1 week. It was like something stupid the way that lined up. Like I did 35 pools or something, and it was chaos. But
So on top of all the businesses and events, you're still showing up in your health. How did your fitness, breathworks, or mindfulness practice hold up during a month like this?
yeah, it's now we're at the very beginning of June when we're filming this, so it's like I've already moved on to the next thing, so it's even hard to think back. But the health thing dropped towards the end of it, which this is actually a little bit of a common theme, like towards the end of these like sprints that the health kind of falls off. But I was like kind of white knuckling it all the way to the end, which just shit just starts going off the rails. Like I'm not eating the best. I'm drinking too many beers. I'm like coming home and I'm like, I just want to have like 2 beers but 2 beers equals like 5 beers. And, I'm not stretching and I'm body sore, and you're just like you're in the chaotic rhythm of just like, I just need to get to the end of this. So I'm sure the beginning of May, it was all good, and, I was in rhythm, and then towards the end of it, the wheels fell off and but I ended on Friday and got all cleaned up, and I had like a good reset Friday, solid one Saturday and Sunday, and then got back in the office on that Monday. And even that like Friday afternoon, Saturday, Sunday, like full reset, like fully recharged everything. I was like I probably did like 8 breathwork sessions. I was just fully reset. So, but it was the beginning of kind of the new mission, the new mountain to climb.
And you're also very deep in family life. How's dad life with Grayson right now? And what did this month teach you about showing up at home?
Yeah, it's like no matter how crazy the day is, or how bad the pools were, or like how overwhelmed you are, you come home and you see Grayson, and he just like the way that he can smile at you, it's like everything's all good. So, and it's amazing. He's eating foods now. So Elisa's got him going through from butternut squash to cauliflower to now on apples too. And he just went to the doctors and got all weighed in, and super healthy, happy boy. And laughing and, rolling over. He's going to be crawling soon. So, and summertime is here, so we're going to get him in the pool soon.
And the house. Big milestones this month. Any updates? What's it like building a home during one of your busiest business seasons ever?
It's painful, but like we're in a good spot now too, but it's just like decision making and waiting for people. But we are in a good spot now too. So it's like once it starts too, like we have pretty much everything lined up. We'll have this one missing piece over here, but essentially every piece is lined up. And once we like click the start, it's just going to be like house gone, tree removal, cleaned up, basement dug, formed, basement poured, framed, septic put in. Like it's going to go pretty quickly. So I'm excited to see it start to get going. But it's kind of a grind when you're like tired as hell and blah blah blah. Decision fatigue is a real thing.
And when you zoom out on the month, what did it teach you about capacity, rhythm, or seasons?
You can handle a lot. Like you can handle more than you think you can handle. If you're just like aware of what it is that you're doing and why you're doing it. This has led me to going down the rabbit hole of like stress on the body and like what it does to the body and how you can kind of build up stress resilience, which this is leading to like lots of the breathwork stuff. But yeah, you can do it.
How do you know when it's time to push hard like this versus when to rest or slow down?
I think it's like in the prep for it, right? Like I knew it was coming, right? If we think of whenever we filmed in like April leading up to it, I knew that this was going to be craziness, right? So I'm prepared for it. And I also know that there's a start and a middle and a finish to it, right? So I could see the light at the end of the tunnel. So you can kind of, go blinders up, white knuckle it, and just drive all the way through. You don't want to be doing that for like much longer than what I did, because you're just going to burn out when I'm saying the wheels are falling off at the end of it, and that's with like the prep of it. If you just continuously do that, like it's not going to equal good outcomes. More bad habits will occur. Your body will break down. Your mental health won't be good. So that's why I like to frame it as kind of these sprints or these new missions or these new mountains to climb, right? Where it's maybe 6 weeks, something like that, 6-8 weeks. And yeah, that's when I just dial in of like set the goal or vision, create the plan, execute the work, like go on the mission, execute the work, measure progress along the way, celebrate milestones, rest, reflect, and repeat, right? That is what the cycle is. That is what the rhythm is.
And what's one thing you're taking away from May into the rest of the summer?
I'm super pumped to use my brain more. When you do that physical labor and it's just like, I'm like, I need, at the end of it, I'm like, feel like a caged animal. I need to sell something.
May was massive for Miles, but we want to hear from you too. What's something that you're proud of from the last 30 days? It can be business, health, family, whatever it is. Drop it in the comments and let's celebrate the rhythm you're building.